A very good hello to all of you. Thank you for being here on this very important Peace Day Live 2021 here in September. It's great to be here on the 21st. It's always such a pleasure. Jeremy, if you're out there, a big holler out to you, and thank you for staying so committed to Peace One Day. I'm a big fan of what you do and the entire team. Welcome to our panel discussion at this hour, Uniting for Peace. And the topic today is partnership with the United Nations Global Compact and what we can do. I've done many events with the Compact, and it's always great to be here as we talk about the topic of uniting for peace. And if for those of you who are not familiar with the Global Compact and what it focuses on, it's the idea of business and its crucial role in our societies across the world. So it's with great pleasure that I get to bring in three great leaders in the very idea of how business can lean in. So please welcome everybody. Angela Cretu, the CEO of Avon. And Avon, and I've met, well, you're now my second CEO, and it's great to see you, Angela, that I've met from Avon. And I cannot say enough about what they have done when it comes to understanding business's role in society. Antonio Núñez is the CEO of Nestle Colombia, and it's a great pleasure to be able to meet and speak with you, Antonio. In addition to that, Sanda Ojiambo, CEO and Executive Director of the United Nations Global Compact. This is, as you know, a very busy week for you, I am sure. I'm sitting here in New York, in Manhattan, and the week has begun with great fervor and energy. So it's great to have you as well, Sanda. You know, I want to start with you, Sanda. And you heard my very brief description of what the Global Compact is, what it does. And as mentioned, I've had many great conversations in the old days when we used to be able to hug and shake hands during this great week in front of us. And it's more than a week, as we all know. To you, tell us, how is the UN Global Compact and the recent conversations you've had, Sanda, here, tell us about the corporate purpose and how corporations have stood up and continue to stand up during this time, and especially not only on our topic of Peace One Day, but also in a wider purview. Sanda?
Sure, great. And thank you so much for inviting me to join the excellent panelists. I'm really looking forward to hearing from them as well. And I agree with you. I wish it was better times when we could be in person and suddenly have this conversation face to face.
Well, Sanda, what I will say is this is a virtual hug, right? This is exactly what we're doing.
Right. Thank you. Got it. So, let me there's a couple of pointers that I wanted to bring into the discussion, and I'll just call them framing points before I talk about the Global Compact. Look, I think the first thing is that, business as usual is truly no longer an option. Businesses have to get engaged in societal transformation, in value creation. Businesses that are now successful and certainly sustainable on the longer term really take a much longer view than simply short-term profits and short-term, reporting to investors and boards. I think first is, that perspective on what business is, certainly in our view from the Global Compact, has shifted, and we continue to see more businesses shifting in this way. A second point that I think is very interesting, and here I just want to reference Edelman and their research that they've done. Over the last couple of years, we're in an era of increasing trust in business. So consumers, citizens, public institutions, regulators are seeing that business can do more and should do more. I'm not saying that business is right at the top of the 100% mark, but over time, businesses are being more trusted. And I think that over this last couple of months during the pandemic, and certainly looking at a couple of other social and economic issues, we are seeing businesses rise to the fore. So, when you talk about corporate purpose and stakeholder capitalism, we are seeing a clear convergence. It's not necessarily global. It's not yet running across all sectors, but we are seeing the fruits of better engagement around purpose, principles, and certainly profit. I think the ultimate imperative really is for businesses to have just positive outcomes for their consumers, for citizens, and for humanity as a whole. So, having said those comments and looking at the Global Compact, what we do is, as the world's largest corporate sustainability initiative and with about 14,000 companies in our membership, we really work with these businesses to see how they can embrace our 10 principles, which are in the areas of human rights, labor, the environment, and anti-corruption, and also get them to align their operations and their delivery of products and services with the Sustainable Development Goals. And our belief firmly is that with the two together, we can truly contribute not just to peace, but to a just society, to an equitable and an inclusive society as well. And I'll just cap it by saying underneath this all really comes in the question of leadership, moral and ethical leadership, and the importance of strong business leadership and strong governance around leadership to drive that forward. So really that's where I am. I don't think that the terms are in conflict. Purpose, purpose, principles, and profit can all go hand in hand, and stakeholder capitalism can actually be matched and met with purpose. But we have a long way to go, and that's our call to action and challenge and what we work towards at the Global Compact.
It's really exciting, Sanda. I remember when I was in business school, forgive me all three, when I was in business school, after I went to Citibank, save your exasperations, as I said earlier, for later. But one of the things that the dean sat down with us and said in the importance of business is, now it's your responsibility. And it's really great, Sanda, that you brought up these points, because now it is corporate, I say corporate America here in the United States, but corporations all around the world to step up. And peace is a big word. It doesn't have a lot of letters, but these are big letters that come together. And so to you, Angela, on this, there are many manifestations of the way corporations can focus on peace. And, I've talked about peace in these gatherings that, Peace One Day puts together with Jeremy many times. I've also done it outside of that with the UN in various contexts. It's a big word. And to you, Angela, how do you manifest that at Avon? How do you talk about peace? And, certainly there are different ways of doing it, whether we discuss peaceful societies, we can talk about equity and equality when it comes to gender and race. Tell us about how you talk about it.
So you're right, Richard, and Sanda said it so beautifully. Businesses should engage. Businesses are stakeholders of our community. And long are gone the times when a business would focus only on customer value proposition and shareholder value creation. We need to have this stakeholder, value in mind and give back more than what we take. This is what businesses should do. Businesses should be a force for good. And for 135 years, Avon has been more than a beauty company. It's been really a movement for well-being, understanding really that beauty is so much more than skin deep. You cannot talk about the color of a lipstick if there is no safety, if there is no well-being, if there is no equality. So ultimate beauty means peace. So with that keen understanding of, what's our mission, that goes beyond the beauty product transaction, and in our role, to promote well-being and safety and equality for women around the world, ultimately peace. We went really from championing safe and healthy lives for women to embracing sustainable and ethical practices. So what happens at Avon to create that value and support peace? We do it first through our networks and partners, and then creating strong relationships and alliances. Even an event like we have today, both with a partnership with the United Nations Global Compact, but as well with the Peace One Day, we are looking to create change, to inspire people and businesses to take a more active role in calling, for this awakening and back to our values as humanity and protect our planet and our people. Then we do it through our supply chain, maintaining human rights, through our suppliers, responsible sourcing, tackling carbon challenge. And the most important, and I think this is because businesses don't have any personal voice just because the corporate America released a statement out there that makes it true or makes it impactful. It's to our own people, the way we foster a culture in our own organizations, with our own employees, breeding genuine inclusion and tolerance, fighting against justice, creating employees resource groups, having a speak out culture, creating really those protocols and policies to tackle violence, because violence starts at home, and we can support peace by inspiring our own people and encouraging them to take a stand against violence in their own community. And what's most important for Avon, we have 5 million representatives around the world, and this is such a powerful representation in all micro communities, in different cultures, different countries, with very different situations. And we know they can be peace ambassadors. Through them, we have really the power to mobilize communities, to raise awareness, to really speak out against domestic violence. Altogether, we've donated $85 million against gender-based violence to support the hotlines, the shelters around the world, to really help those in need. So yes, the challenge, Richard, is really huge. But with individual change, from people to businesses to governments, one person at a time, one small step at a time, we really could create this tidal wave of change. So I'm extremely proud to be by your side to keep investing energy in this movement of ours.
Angela, we're more side by side. We're kind of locked arms together is what we are. And you said more than a beauty company, I would say beauty of the world, beauty of society. And you standing up to talk about peace is so important. Big word, but accessible. We don't need to see it as so distant. It's right next to us.